Hi, Seth Lewis, founder of Momentum U, and hopefully your year is kicking off to a great start. The year's just getting going. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for following. Had a great year last year. I posted, um, one of the things I posted was about the last 5 years. And one thing that happens every year at the end of the year, we judge our year too much on one year. And 2020 was obviously a crazy year. It was something that, it just wasn't expected. Nobody knew what was going on. You couldn't create this stuff. But what I would challenge you to do is judge where you've been and where you're going on the last 3 to 5 years. What have you accomplished in that time? Some of you have started a business. Some of you have maybe, got married. Some of you have done all different things, and you've actually had a lot of success. And we put way too much weight on one specific year. When I look back at my journey in 2016, I shared that, I wasn't educated. So I didn't have a degree. Now I had companies prior to that, but I never finished my undergrad up until 2015. I went back, I finished my undergrad. Then in 2017, I decided that I was going to go and get an executive MBA after I graduated. I flew an airplane. I got married. We had a baby. I started Momentum U. There were so many good things that happened over a period of time, and we put too much emphasis on one year. So I want to encourage you, when you think about this year and we're starting off, where have you come as a person? What's your journey been individually for yourself? There's a lot to be proud of. Don't put so much weight on one year. Look at the collective of what has happened. And on top of that, in 2020, I came out and published a book. So if you hadn't had a chance to pick up a copy of my book, Momentum: 7 Steps to Start It and Keep It in Business Forever, I would encourage you to do that. There's a whole bunch of people that have gotten behind it and supported it and have contributed to the success. So I want to thank you for that. But today, crazy topic. We talk about every year, it's strategy. We look at how to make a strategy. What should we do? What should we not do? How does it work? And if we have the magic strategy, we think that it'll work in our business. We think this time of year, a lot of times I call it the hope. It's where you get energized and you think about the upcoming year and where you're going to take it. That hope connects you to your dreams and what you really want to do and what you think you can accomplish. But I want to take you back, and I want you to think about that hope that comes this time of year when you think about what you're going to do in 2021 and the dreams that you have and everything. When you go back and you look at that and you say, did my dreams and plan actually meet my reality? I want you to think about that. Take a minute and say, if you would go back to the beginning of 2020 and say, this is what I wanted to accomplish, did you do it? And if you say that COVID interrupted everything, there's a couple extreme examples where that did. And I will give you the benefit of the doubt there. But overall, you're still more in control of your life and what you want to do than you may give yourself credit. When I look at my journey in 2020, it was a very successful year. Publishing a book and doing different things and growing Momentum U and starting it and all those things happened during a pandemic. And I have clients that have had their best years ever as well during a pandemic. So when I ask you, when you think about these things, is your plan aligning and is it taking you where you want to go? I speak to a lot of business owners, and I really enjoy doing it and learning from them and trying to give them perspective. But I was working with one, and I'll, for the purposes, I'll call him Chris. And Chris was somebody that, put together the perfect plan every single year. And Chris had this plan and it was great, and it you could rattle it off. So if you asked him what was his plan for the upcoming year, He would say, we're going to do this, we're going to do this, we're going to do this. But at the end of the year, it never aligned up. It never actually happened the way that he saw it or planned it out to be. And at some point when you do this long enough, you start asking yourself the question, why does this continue to happen? And that's what we're going to talk about today, is making a plan that works in 2021, not just a plan. So when we talk about a plan that works, we need to understand, why does it fall on paper is tremendous. It's really good. I mean, really good. And even when you ask somebody that has a great plan, you're like, wow, you have a great plan, but why isn't it taking us where we want to go? So, and I want to relate this to your personal life too. So a lot of times I talk about business, and you can take this in your business, but is it your fitness goal? Is it, what is it? Is it getting out of debt? Is it money? Is it how you're going to handle social media? Is it your friends? Is it family? Why do you put it in the plan at the beginning of the year and that doesn't happen? What's the cause of that? So again, that's what we're going to look at today. So if this is you, stay tuned in. Appreciate it, share it, like it. When I look at that, again, I call that false hope, because you're repeating the same thing and you're not sure why it's happening. And the biggest thing that I see, and why should it be different? So you go into the year, you have the hope, you do the strategy. Think about what it looks like. It's January, or it's December, it's November, whenever you do your planning and get together. You create this plan, you check all the boxes, you get it done, and then you forget about it. Think about if you start a fitness plan, you join the gym. I mean, everybody knows it. People join the gym, and then by February, the gym's empty again. The people that are regulars get annoyed by the people that come in and just take up the space. Now, in the world today, it's a little bit different with COVID, but you get the idea. So when we look at that, we create this strategy, but then what happens in February? What happens? How do we actually make it to an actionable plan? Something that we can use, something that gets you where you want to go. So even forget the 3 to 5 year plan. We want to win this year. This year is the important year to win. This year is the year that you can build or start to build your momentum in the way that where you want it to go. But it starts with realizing that maybe your plan is really good. It starts with realizing that you might have a good plan. I'm going to call it 1B. You might realize that you don't actually have a plan. So what does that look like? If we talk about that, what does it look like when you say, well, what is the difference between a plan and no plan? If you say you want to increase your revenue by X number of dollars, let's say you want to increase your revenue by $500,000 in your business unit, or 250 million. You put the number in that works for you. That's not a plan. That's a goal. And too many people confuse goals for an actual plan in their organization. You can rattle off your goals. My goal is to increase the business by X. My goal is to do this. But it's not a plan. It's not a strategy. So strategy becomes something that gets interchanged by plan, and it doesn't lead to action items. And my goal is to get you to think about why that's happening. So step one is your plan an actual plan? If your plan is an actual plan, we have something to talk about. If it isn't, you need to dive a little bit deeper and peel back the onion, I'll call it. Look at the different layers and say, is there actionable items to get me where I want to go? I hope that COVID will go away. That's not a plan. That's a dream, wish, or desire. But now you need to create an action item that works to help accomplish whatever you're looking to do. So how you're going to do it is important. The second thing is I would say a fundamental thing that we teach in Momentum U. It's the secret sauce. It's the answer to a lot of different things in your business or organization. When you get this right, it changes everything. I know for in my journey, I would, in the beginning, I would struggle. I would try to get to a certain point. I would have success. We'd get grow our business by a lot, and then the wheels would fall off the bus, or we would have challenges in this area or that area. Like, I know what the feeling is to get momentum and then lose it and then get it back again. And that's what I realized when we put it together, when we said we got to look at all the pieces, not just certain ones. I was one that grabbed the pieces and tried to put them together and said, well, we're going to do sales. And we would sell like crazy and we would hit goals and crush goals, but then we let something else slip by. So the holistic solution is important, but step number 2, the most important thing is to understand the mix. I want you to think of a circle or a pie chart. And when you think about that circle or you think about that pie chart, I want you to think about what we do currently. And what we do currently now is we spend 99% of our time, and most times it might even be 100, on strategy. And I want you to think about a little line. So if you have a pie chart right there and you have a little line going down, and that line is actually mindset. It's 1%. I'm going to give it a placeholder as 1%. So this pie chart, 99% of the time we spend on strategy. 1% is on mindset. So part of having a strategy that works is understanding the mix of a balanced approach. And let me give you an example with mindset and strategy. So mindset is the piece of the puzzle that is autopilot. It's what we revert back to when we put the strategy back on the shelf. It's our autopilot. And I want you to think about when you go to work in the morning. I want you to think about when you go to your childhood home. I want you to think about when you drive to someplace, your grandparents, your kids, like someplace that you know and you don't think about. You don't look at the road signs. You don't think about where you're going. You don't notice a lot of things. You might even be thinking about the dinner, how good grandma cooks your favorite meal. You might be thinking about work. You might be thinking about what you're going to do when you go home. You're thinking about different things. Now, you're still driving a vehicle. You're still going to a destination. But how are you doing that? You're actually on autopilot. I mean, really, think about that. Think about driving the car. Do you actually think about hitting the brake? Do you think about turning the wheel? Do you think about flipping the turn signal on? You do this stuff on autopilot because it's been trained or ingrained into your mindset. So I want you to think about this put this into the context of your business and your strategy. So as you start to do a strategy, you put together the strategy and it is beautiful. It is great. It on paper is terrific. But you ask yourself at the end of the year why you're not in line with the results. The results don't align with the plan. And business owners come to me all the time with this, and not everybody has the same symptom. But what I find is that has to be a balanced approach. So the mindset has to be a 50-50 with strategy. And when those two meet, that's how you create explosive momentum. So when you put the strategy, so you have a beautiful strategy coming into 2021, what you do then is you forget about it. You get away from the strategy. You put the strategy on the shelf. So what happens? What happens when you put the strategy on the shelf? I can tell you what happens. What happens is you revert to what you know. You revert to autopilot. You revert to the mindset. You revert to how you view the world, the lens, your decision making, your old school decision making, the way that you historically run, the easy way. And it's not a matter of easy or hard, but I'm helping you understand what happens. So that's a big deal. And in Momentum U, that's one of the things that we focus on is a balanced approach. 50% of the time is strategy, but 50% is mindset. And when those two are going at the same pace, it creates this explosion. Because what mindset is the key to unlock the strategy that you've already known. It unlocks strategy in a new way that you've never seen it. It makes information that you have and learned more useful. If you could train yourself to be better on autopilot with your business and inject, lately I've been using the word inject because people talk about vaccines, this and that. And again, I don't care what you believe, but whether it's good, bad, indifferent, whatever, that's not the point of this. But if you can inject and reprogram your autopilot so it is aligned with what you want it to do with your plan. I mean, do you see how that is exciting? Think about that. If you can program your mindset to run on autopilot when you slack off, when you get away from your strategy, do you see how that keeps you on your goal? Yeah, you still have to keep working at it. But it's the same way as when you're driving your car down the road to grandma's house or your kids or whatever spot you're at, your grandkids. It's autopilot. So in order to make a strategy that works, it's understanding the blend of mindset and strategy and looking to help program your autopilot mode. Because if that's in line with your strategy, I promise you, and I will make this promise, what you want to achieve by the end of the year, you will do it. I promise you that. The reason it won't is because if that isn't in alignment, alignment creates momentum. Awareness creates momentum. That's a big deal, a really big deal. If you remember anything, knowing that. So how do you do that? I mean, there's a lot of work that has to be done. And if this is something that's connecting with you, if it's something that's making sense, I would go and set up a strategy call with me. You can go to explosivemomentum.com. You can go to, if you want to check out my book and see what Momentum U is about, go to mymomentumbook.com. And there's information there about my book. You can set up a strategy call. You can learn about Momentum U. But if you want to reprogram your autopilot, your mindset, and you want that to align with your strategy, that will take you and guide you when you slip up. Because we all slip up. We all get off the track a little bit, but it's a way to help make it more natural. The third thing that, we talk about is doing a 360 assessment and getting your team involved. So a 360 assessment, so we know what 360 is. It's, all the way around. It's people that are above you, people that are equal to you, people that report to you, and building your plan with all of these people involved. Because when you build a plan with all of these people involved, you start to make a plan that accounts for different thoughts, different perspectives, things that are needed in the organization. All of a sudden, things start to get easier and people get bought into what you're doing. So it's so important. And you say, well, 360, who is that? Well, that's customers. Getting your customers' input is big in your strategy or your plan. How about your subcontractors? I know, I work with a lot of service business or construction or even coaches and other consultants. They're looking to, but if you're in the service or construction business, are you considering what's a win for your subs, for your contractors? It's a big deal to take their input into your plan. Have you taken your team members, your employees, mentors? It could be, whoever is in that 360 assessment to make a big plan. If you're not doing that, I'm going to say that you're probably going to be missing some pieces. And I would say not probably, you are going to be missing some pieces. So the idea is to be able to build a plan that works and works for everybody as much as it can do. And in that, it's about putting value on everything. It's about if somebody wants a different piece of equipment, if somebody wants to hire a person, what is the actual value compared to what you have in place now? Is there another way? Is there a better way? Is the impact worth the investment? Those things, everything has to have a numerical value on it because we understand money. It's the one thing that doesn't mean you have to be good at managing it, but everybody understands dollars and cents. So if you put things in money, it helps you see what's important. I'm a huge advocate in this. And lastly, with this, it's about having somebody that can hold you accountable, somebody that can help you see. I do so many calls with people. I would say I probably have 30, impact sessions with people, a month. And the common theme that I see from all of this is they don't understand the value of different things. And one of those areas is coaching. It doesn't have to be me, but I almost beg you to explore the coaching option, because in the coaching option, I have always got at least a 10x return on what I've invested. It is a great investment. And please, if you're a business owner or a leader, explore the option. It doesn't have to be me, but I encourage you to explore what that looks like and how it changes your business. And I'm happy to talk to you about that. If you want to go to mymomentumbook.com, there's an option there to do that. You can see that. You can learn more about, the coaching relationship and what that looks like. Momentum U is an 8-week online course. So we blend online content with live coaching. And the fundamental thing is what I said with the plan is blending mindset with strategy. It's the missing piece. It's the secret sauce. It unlocks your subconscious to put you on autopilot to do the things that you want to do. It's really a game changer, and I can't say it enough. It is big time. So if you haven't had a chance, set up a strategy call. I'd love to talk to you, see what your plan looks like. See if you have a plan or if it's just a wish list. Big difference between goals and an actual plan to get results. Second thing, mindset and strategy. What's the balance that you have with your mindset and your strategy? So important that it's a 50-50 split. When it is, those two meet and you have explosive momentum. And I want that for you. There's nothing more exciting for me when I work with somebody and I get to see their explosive momentum. I mean, it just fires me up. It is so exciting. I mean, I get chills right now to think of the clients that are having great years and might have been on the rocks or the bubble. It's so exciting. And third, get your team involved. Make sure your team is involved with your planning, and 360 all the way around. See how you partner with your subs better. How do you improve it? All of those things make a big difference. And work with somebody. There's nobody can do it on our own. I can't do this on my own. I have coaches and mentors and people that help me. You cannot. If you think that you can do this on your own, and you're missing it, that is your limiting belief. So who is in your corner? Do you understand the value of a coaching relationship or somebody that can guide you and help you and be your partner? It's not about saying you're doing a bad job, blah, blah, blah. That's not it. It's about coming beside you and being a partner and an advocate and a cheerleader to help you. So part of a plan that helps keep you on track while you're learning. I encourage you to check out Momentum U, see if it's a fit for you. But if you do those three things, you will understand how to plan and you will understand how to keep the plan. And at the end of the year, at the end of 2021, or whenever you're listening to this, your goal and your plan, the results will equal what you set out to do. And that's exciting. If you do that for 3 years or 5 years, imagine where your organization goes. You eliminate the short-term momentum set followed by a setback. You continually grow at a sustainable rate. It's a big deal. Thanks for watching. I am Seth, founder of Momentum U. You can check us out. You can go to startthemo.com, go to mymomentumbook.com, pick up a copy. My book covers some of these topics. There's people from all over the US and the globe supporting what I teach. It's a new way. It's a better way. It's a way that keeps sustainable momentum. I'm Seth Lewis. Check us out. Set up a call with me. I would love to talk to you. Enjoy the rest of your day.